The Yankees finally got their guy, acquiring Juan Soto in a trade with the Padres, bringing in another superstar hitter that they can pair with Aaron Judge. Soto is obviously one of the best hitters in the game, and he makes any lineup better. But how exactly does adding him to this lineup change things for the Yankees? And does this help them fix their offensive problems from last year? The 25-year-old outfielder is already a 3-time All-Star, a 4-time Silver Slugger, and won the batting title in the shortened 2020 season after hitting .351 in 47 games. His biggest weapon offensively is his understanding of the strike zone and his ability to get on base. But that vision and patience at the plate, it also puts him in good counts where he can get something good to hit. And let's not pretend like he can't swing it too. Since coming into the league in 2018, he's ranked first in on-base percentage and walk rate, and 4th in OPS and WRC plus out of all qualified hitters. He's not going to give you the most defense in the outfield, but if you're putting him out in left field, you're not paying him for his defense out there, you're paying for what he does at home plate here. He's just an all-around complete hitter, and after having a bit of a down year, a down year by his standards, he still had a 145 WRC plus. He got right back to it this year, again leading the league in walk percentage, ranking 3rd in on-base percentage, 5th in RBIs, and 8th in both OPS and WRC+. Soto's the kind of bat that you can build almost any lineup around, but Judge is that same kind of impact bat, and we've seen how the Yankees lineup absolutely falls apart without Judge in it.
Come on.
Right two.
So adding Soto not only gives you another guy to help carry the load offensively, and they help protect each other in the lineup and make it a tougher decision for pitchers to work around either guy and you risk putting them on, but adding Soto isn't the only reason they'll be better offensively, because we can also expect the rest of the lineup to help out a bit more this year. First, Soto hasn't even been their only trade this week. They also just added another bat to the outfield in Alex Verdugo, and if someone can explain to me why the Yankees and Red Sox are making trades, that just feels dirty. He's a contact-first bat that doesn't walk a lot, but he still gets on base, he's not going to strike out, and he's going to make the pitcher and the defense have to get him out. So they get a guy that'll put the ball in play, make something happen, and get himself on. Then there's Anthony Rizzo, who was only a league average hitter last year, but we can hope that the Yankees won't be throwing him out there for 2 months with a concussion this year, and, you know, that should help out a bit.
Brain, status report.
Frozen peas.
Then you also have to think that Anthony Volpe will take a step forward in his second season, and he showed some good signs in his first year with over 20 homers and drawing some walks, but if he can cut down on the whiffs and the strikeouts, that should help him out a lot. Now you're still gonna have to hope that LeMahieu and Stanton have something left in the tank, and you still gotta figure out catcher, but when you add in Soto and Verdugo and you expect better years from Rizzo and Volpe, that fills out 2/3 of your lineup right there, along with Judge and Gleyber Torres, and definitely helps to improve a team that was near the bottom offensively last year. But more importantly, it fixes the real problem with the lineup. Yankees hitters last year were patient, they took their walks, and they could hit the ball hard when they made contact. The problem was, you know, making contact. See, the give and take with a lot of power hitters is that when you swing as hard as they do, they tend to whiff more, and the Yankees struggled to make contact, especially in the zone, and they ended up striking out quite a bit last year. Now, how we see this play out on the field is that if you're basically relying on either walking or getting that big hit, you're basically out there playing roulette. And since you're not getting a lot of hits, when you do get that big hit, you need it at the exact right moment. So when you can't get those hits with runners in scoring position like the Yankees couldn't this last year, your offense is gonna really struggle. And this is what should change for the better this year. Both Soto and Verdugo are great at keeping the strikeouts down, and they're gonna put the ball in play. Volpe will hopefully do a better job at this after getting a full year to see Major League pitching, and Rizzo isn't gonna be up there trying to guess which of the 4 baseballs the pitcher just threw at him is the real one, so I'd expect that he gets back to being above average at strikeouts like he's been his whole career. Now the Yankees also get center fielder Trent Trent Grisham in the deal, he's been mostly defense over the last 2 years. He's never ranked below the 90th percentile in outs above average in his career, but he just hasn't been able to get it going with the bat. He's hit under 200 each of the last 2 seasons. We know though that Soto's the real prize here, but the risk with this move for the Yankees is that he's only got 1 more year until he hits free agency, and with Scott Boras as his agent and already turning down a $440 million extension with the Nationals, New York may have just given up everything that they did to just watch Soto leave after this year. And as far as what they sent over, the Padres are getting right-handed pitchers Michael King, Johnny Brito, and Randy Vasquez, right-handed pitching prospect Drew Thorpe, and catcher Kyle Higashioka. King's been really effective as a reliever for the Yankees. He's also made some starts with 9 this year, and he gets a good amount of strikeouts and ground balls. Brito made his debut this year. He didn't really wow you by any means, but he managed to hang in there, and in the minors, he was mostly a guy that just kept the walks and the homers down. Vasquez also made his debut this year, and he put up a good ERA in that short time by keeping the hits down, with the rest of his numbers not looking so great. A strikeout guy in the minors that kept the homers down but struggled with walks. And then Thorpe, who was a second-round pick last year, had his first minor league season this year, absolutely dominating high A and double A, a ton of strikeouts and very few homers or hits, and according to scouts, he's got a great changeup. The big haul here for the Padres is obviously all this pitching, and especially starting pitching, which they desperately needed.
I need it!
San Diego has Blake Snell, Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha, and Nick Martinez, who all combined for 91 starts and 503 1/3 innings as starters this year, all leaving as free agents. They needed to replace all these innings in their rotation, and they didn't have the payroll to go out and sign guys to do it. So cutting payroll by trading Soto and getting all these arms back that they can plug into their rotation was exactly what the Padres were looking for. It obviously hurts them to lose a hitter like Soto, but they still have Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Xander Bogaerts, and Ha-Seong Kim to lead the lineup. They needed pitching, and they had to move money. It's not the move that they wanted to make, but it's the move that they had to make. Higashioka basically just comes over as a backup catcher, but what this deal really does for the Padres is, since they're basically capped out on payroll and they don't have the money to go and add guys to fill their needs, they had to reshuffle their roster to get more balanced. So they trade away one of their big bats, fill a massive hole in their rotation with a handful of arms, and they give themselves a bit more room financially. But what does losing all this pitching mean for the Yankees, who didn't exactly have the best rotation themselves last year and really struggled with consistency? Garrett Cole and Clark Schmidt were the only guys that threw at least 150 innings, and Domingo Armand was the only other one to get above 100, just barely, but he's a free agent along with Luis Severino. The Yankees will have Cole and Schmidt again next year and hopefully get healthy full seasons out of Carlos Rodon and Nestor Cortez, but then they basically just traded away everyone else that they used last year to go get Soto. They've reportedly been in on Japanese starting pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto, so that would give them another good option in the rotation. The question then though is, how much depth do the Yankees have if and when one of their guys ends up going down? Their number 9 prospect Will Warren, number 14 Clayton Beeter, and number 27 Edgar Barclay each hit AAA last year and made over 10 starts. Their number 23 prospect Yoendrys Gomez made his debut, and Luis Hill, their number 10 prospect at the end of 2022, got back on the mound for 2 starts at A-ball after coming back from Tommy John. These guys are most likely going to have to step up and make some big starts for the Yankees this year. Unfortunately, injuries are gonna happen, so they're gonna have to hope that these guys are ready, or they're gonna need to go and spend even more to get another arm or two depending on whatever Yamamoto decides. So let me know what you think about this trade for both sides and where each team goes from here. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, and you can check out the video that's on your screen next for our rankings of the top free agents this offseason. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have an awesome day. Later.